Hey guys, just want to give you a little tip. I'm out today doing a hike and I'm hoping to get some deer in my lens. So I know there's lots of deer in this area, but just a little tip for you guys out there that may not spend a ton of time in the wilderness. I'm breaking this ridge here, and what I'm going to do is I am not going to expose my body on top of this ridge. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke my head up and have a good look around. I'll pan really slow and see if I can see anything moving out there, because the big mistake what you can do is you break that ridge with your whole body, and because you're a predator and the deer or any other wildlife you may be wanting to photograph, their prey, they will see you right away. So if you can just poke your head over at the ridge rather than expose your whole body, your chances of viewing wildlife are far greater than if you just pop up over top of the hill and surprise them. They could be anywhere here. And the other thing is, walk slow and quiet and just keep looking around, because what you want to do is you want to see them before they see you, and have your camera ready, because if you have your camera ready, chances are you're going to get them. Deer tracks there. That's that deer was moving. When the toes splay like that, it means it's on the move. Well, they're always moving if they're walking, but when the toes spread like that, means that he was running, or at least at a trot, a faster gait. When the cleft is tight together, then they're just walking. But he was trying to get out of here, and I look over here, and there is a whole bunch of deer here right there. So I've come into this little area here, and I noticed that there's quite a few of these small fir trees all mangled. That one has branches missing. That little group in there, they've been mangled. That one there's broken off, mangled. One beside it's broken off and mangled. This one here, missing branches. That one over there, missing branches. Then I pan over here. This one here, mangled branches and broken off. Those ones there, mangled. You might wonder what's doing this. Well, nothing of it's fresh, it's all old. But deer do that, bucks do that. Buck will come in and it's called a rub. They'll come in and they do it 2 times a year. They do it in the late spring, early summer, when the velvet's coming off their antlers, and I suppose it gets itchy or whatever, and they'll do a rub then, and then they'll do a rub in the fall. But if we have a look at this tree here, this is a huge tree for this area. To show you here, this top's been snapped off, but it's either a fir tree or a pine tree. But I've identified the species, I think. Pretty sure I have. This orange color of the wood is indicative of fir tree. So I've taken a chunk out of that tree there and I've inspected it. I'm looking at the cell structure. I'm also looking at the color. I'm smelling it. It's a very, very faint smell. I don't smell really strong fir, but all the species of wood have a distinct smell to them. I'm quite sure anyone that's been around camping or in the woods much would know cedar is very aromatic. You can really smell cedar. So even from quite a distance away, fir is not quite as scenty. It doesn't have such a strong smell. But if I cut some of this away and get down to where the air hasn't been at it, very light, not very strong, not very strong at all. Here, you have a smell. So as I was saying about this wood I found, so this is the first piece I found, and I said it was fir, and I was able to smell it and look at the cell structure of the wood, and I determined that by the color and cell structure and the faint little smell, this was fir. Now what I have here is a piece of pine, and actually this is a better demonstration here. You can see the difference in color. The fir is much more orangey red and the pine is yellow, just as I was saying before. So the other thing is that the cell structure on the pine is larger. It has a larger cell structure in the membrane of the wood. So it's hard to tell probably on the camera, but I know from experience that and pine is nowhere near as strong as fir is because it's not as dense. When you're in the wilderness and you come across something like this, that's a tree bleeding. But a bleeding tree is a good thing for an outdoorsman, because what you can do is you can take your knife and you can grab that pitch and put it in a little container, and you can save it for when you need to start a fire. I'm going to mark this tree because I just came out today for a short little hike and I didn't bring a container for pitch. I didn't plan to start a fire, but not very often you can come across a tree that's this easy to get. When you come across something like this tree here across the valley, well, across the gorge I'm actually in, and you can see that the bark is very dark gray, and you can see all the gray sun-bleached wood around it, but you can see that bright orange strewn around. That is an indication that a bear has been digging at the tree. So when you see something like this in your travels, be aware that you're in bear country and there could be a bear close by. So when you see this, take heed. I'm not going to go over there and look for tracks because it's quite a ways across that gorge, but I noticed that right away, and I'm going to be on that side in a while. But just be wary when you see something like that. Weather's starting to change on me here. Time to get off this rock, get back to some shelter. It's been an adventurous day. I've covered quite a bit of ground. I started out, and you can see the trees behind me. I started in that cover down there, and then I made a big J kind of shape. I walked along there, along the creek, and then I came up pretty much on top of the mountain now. As you can see, I got a pretty good view going on behind me. but I'm gonna call it this. This is the end of this video. I did see a few interesting things today, and you know, it's the adventure is what you make it, and just get outside and go make an adventure. It doesn't have to be grueling. You don't have to break a sweat. Just get out into the fresh air and enjoy it. Well, I better shut this down before I get rained on, because it looks like it's coming up the valley. So I'll be catching you guys here pretty soon. Hope you enjoy this video. And if you like my video, please subscribe, like, and share. And go ahead and make a comment. I always respond to my comments, and I like to see comments come in. So take care, and get out and make your own adventure. Over and out.